Hey there, welcome back to Simplified Digital Marketing, a mini crash course. This is session 3 of 4. My name is Beth Walker and I am a content strategist with SMA Marketing. And today we're going to discuss how do I know what my target audience wants to read. Now, in our first video, we just briefly touched on what your target audience is. And in our second video, we talked about SEO. And so when we optimize our website, we're optimizing it for our target audience. The goal would be with SEO best practices that our target audience is the people who finds us, and that they prioritize that we're prioritized in search for the people who actually need our products and services. If the only people finding you aren't interested in your information, then it's going to be much more difficult to sell things, right? And so it's really important that we understand who we're writing for as we develop our website. As a reminder, your buyer persona is a semi-fictional description that represents your ideal customer. And we provided you with a free template for your buyer persona. It's linked in the comments of the first video. The reason that we focus on a buyer persona is because you want your website to focus on the problems that these potential customers have and present information that shows how you are able to resolve those problems. If you're an author and someone is looking for engaging reads from middle schoolers, and that's what you provide, then that's what you want to be including content contextually on your website. But more than that, you want to make sure that librarians or teachers who are searching for, best reads for fifth graders or, whatever subject you're writing for are able to find you, and not only find you, but when they get to your website, they're drawn in by the content. So while we want to write for search engines to make sure that they understand those key terms that people are searching for, you also want your content to actually help your reader once they arrive at your website. And that's where understanding your buyer persona and your pain points becomes vital. Okay, so here's some questions that shape your marketing strategy. You're gonna, people are gonna ask, well, why should I use your products or services? And you're gonna be able to explain to them what sets you apart from your competitors. Why is your nonprofit one that should be invested in over another one? We're not gonna do that by talking poorly about our competition. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about the value that's added through the nonprofit itself. The same would be true if you're a life coach or you're a chef. What is it about what you are providing that is unique and valuable? Now, how do you know that the things that you think are unique and valuable are actually unique and valuable? That's where social listening comes in. By this, you're going to go to to search engines. You're going to go to social media. You're going to go to YouTube, and you're going to search for your subject. If you are well, think about this. The way you found this video is one of 3 ways. You saw a link on a website, you heard about it from a friend, or you Googled, digital marketing course, or you Google, or in YouTube, you search digital marketing course, and these are the videos that came up, right? So the same is true for any product or service. It doesn't matter if you are selling the most unique and niche hand woven carpet or a spiral notebook, which is something that, probably every household has. It's important that you make sure that the terminology you use is actually what people searching for your products and services use to find you. It may be different. As you become an expert in your field, then you start to use jargon that is particular to your subject. But that may not be what someone who is just learning about your products and services uses. So while it's okay to use accurate terminology, you also need to serve your target audience by helping them find you. So let's say you're on Instagram, search for hashtags, search for the hashtag digital marketing, search for the hashtag, nonprofit organization, life coach. See what other people in your field are saying, but read the comments. And here's the key. This is social listening. You aren't commenting, you aren't engaging. You're simply finding out what other people are saying. Take notes. Make sure that you know, see what repeats, right? Make sure that you know that this one comment that really stood out to you is something that more than one person is thinking. It's really, really important that you spend a good amount of time on social listening as you're developing your website pages, as you're considering your content calendar, what you're going to publish on social media, what you're going to write on your blog. These are all things that are valuable for the future of your engagement with your target audience. So you can also, if you have a customer base, ask them. They're going to be really helpful in telling you, oh, well, this is how I found you, or this is what I value about your products and services. If you don't ask the question, you'll never know what they're actually thinking. A few strategies for listening to your customers, for conducting social listening, include hiring a conversational analytics service such as SMA marketing to dig into what your competitors are saying, which key terms they're using, and how people are responding to those terms. You can also do this yourself by hopping on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok and searching by hashtag. So, if you're a gardener, you're going to search for gardening season or, indoor plants, outdoor plants, however you would search, whatever you think is relevant to potential search queries. And hashtags will show you if you're on the right track or if you're on the wrong track very quickly. The other thing you can do is you can join a relevant Facebook group. You're going to join and then not comment. You're going to just see what are the questions that people are asking. Do I have anything interesting to add to this conversation that's not already being discussed? Same with LinkedIn groups. You can also use YouTube and Pinterest. Those are independent search engines. And so while videos will pull up in a regular search query, if you get onto YouTube and you search by different terms, you may get different ranked videos. And you can read the descriptions, you can listen to the videos, you can see how other people are commenting. And then if you want to use Google just, to search questions like gardening center near me or, nonprofit how to set up a nonprofit, or anything, the most helpful thing that you can do for yourself is to search in Google Incognito. And the reason for this is that Google is constantly dropping little cookies or memory chips onto your search browser, and then the goal is for personalized searches to pull up. This is why if you search for a sweater and you click on the Old Navy website, the next time you search for clothes, Old Navy is going to pull up quickly in a search query. And so by searching in incognito, you prevent cookies from being dropped onto your browser. And this way you get a broader search, not a personalized search query. Now, Google Trends and Exploding Topics are both independent websites that can be used to figure out what people are talking about right now. And this can be a really helpful way to figure out the most important questions that your target audience is asking. Okay, so this is Exploding Topics. And what we see here are trending topics in social media, social causes, and socializing. So you can drop down from the social media. It'll pull up YouTube. It'll pull up different niche areas. However, what we see is this is just a snapshot of, if you go to the Exploding Topics screen, what it's going to show you. But let's say none of these are relevant to your website, but you do want to know what's happening with gardening. You put in gardening in search database, and it's going to pull up subjects that are relevant to that. The best way to use Exploding Topics for social listening is to see what are the terms that people are using and how popular are they. So maybe you find a term in a hashtag on Instagram or TikTok. You can put that particular term into Exploding Topics, and you can see if it's just one person using it or if it's thousands. In addition to Exploding Topics, you can use Google Suggest, the People Also Ask feature, or you can try out the Google Trends platform. And we will link to that and Exploding Topics in the comment section of this video. The goal would be to see what people are saying, and then consider, is this an article that you should write? Like, should you join in the conversation? Is this a foundational page that you've somehow missed as you've been developing content? Maybe there's a ton of people that seem to be answering the question over and over, what is a spiritual director? And you haven't answered that on your website yet. It's something that is an awareness stage question that if everyone in your niche is answering, you need to be answering it as well. But you don't want to copy what someone else is saying. You want to, as much as you can, utilize your own voice. There may be a definition that you repeat because it's the accurate information, but you also want to talk about your vision around something, what makes you unique. So as you start to add content that is helpful, relevant, and adds to the conversation, you're going to then promote it on social media. And that is going to help Google contextually understand your website. We're going to talk about that in the next video more. But one thing I want to note right now is that you need to allow up to 90 days to see how people are interacting with everything that you're posting. It's not going to be instantaneous. Even if you have a blog post that goes viral, that's only one blog post. What's happening on your website after that? Are people actually following through and buying your products and services, or are they simply sharing the information that you've written? While it's great to have the exposure, I'm guessing that for most of us, we also would really like those products and services purchased. So it's super important that with social listening, that you are considering what people are saying, how they're saying it, and then add your own unique spin. Once you've gathered the data, to know that you're actually answering the questions that people are looking to have answers to. Okay, so we have one more training to go. How to use social media and still have a social life. And this is going to be a unique training, compared to the other ones. But before that, I just want to remind you that if you're ready to move into deeper information, the Simplified Digital Marketing course is the place to go. We have hours and hours of training, as well as dozens of free templates to give you that help you build out your buyer persona, not just by reading a template, but actually walking you through every section of it to help you understand what exactly to look for. We teach you how to connect your website to the Google Analytics and how to read the analytics. What should you be looking at and what can you ignore? We show you how to set up your website and which plugins to include so that you can incorporate all of SEO best practices. So if you're ready to move on from this mini crash course, I encourage you to hop over to www.simplifieddigitalmarketing.net. I'll see you in our last training.